Okay, we're on to the final three clubs, the big clubs in Germany, frankly. Um, First, Bayer Leverkusen here. So, just a ton of quality. We know this already, but some big numbers here. Virtually everyone on their roster is above 10 million, but some particularly large ones in the 40s and whatnot. Florian Wirtz, we'll get to in a minute. Not a lot of change, maybe a few things. Odilon here we'll take a quick look at. But a lot of players still entering their prime, so kind of early 20s, 23, 24, with potential, with plenty of upside here. And that's what you're buying into. So right now, virtually all these players here are kind of well priced, if you will, or as in they're pricey. You need a bit of bankroll to get some of these players for sure. But if you can do so, you have a pretty good sense of or chance of them reaching their potential and continuing to develop into greater and greater value while also performing pretty well as it stands. So, Wirtz is really the big one here. He's probably one of the most valuable players in the game, in the whole system. Frankly, you have to pay a high amount to get at him. I can't even necessarily see this going down. It's not like a case where maybe his cards have just been released, and so we're still looking at the first 3 or 4 or something, or first 20. He has over 100 in both limited and in rare. So these are the numbers. I would say they're fairly stable. So, if you have it, go for it. He's definitely a superstar in the making. As we scroll down, again, just some fantastic players. Jonathan Tah, probably pretty reasonable, I would say. We're talking about a $24 million player, are already in his prime at 25 and still a little bit of growth there. And that's a pretty reasonable price. Schick is pretty expensive. He's injured for another week or two, something like that. You can go down the list. Everyone's going to be well over, say, 100, 150 into the 200 range for rare, and kind of 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s for the limited. Moussa Diaby is a good example where, great numbers, tons of potential, 46 million. He's only 22 years old. But you're sort of paying, you're already paying into that with where his prices are at. So, you can see for yourself, but if we just highlight a few that I thought, so Odilon's a good example where we have seen a big jump. So he was 14 million and then he's gone all the way up to 25. So that's pretty significant. Rated at 73 with potential at 84. Maybe not getting totally consistent playing time, but definitely start doing pretty well. And if you look at just this little blip where maybe he was out of form or nagging injury or something like that, really strong numbers over the last 50, 60, 70 games, really, something, whatever this number is, from 202 to 114. So I'd say somebody that you could happily invest in at these numbers and feel pretty good that you're kind of buying low. Looking ahead, who's next here? Jeremy Frimpong. So he's a little pricier, but again, at 20 years old, and maybe not getting. We're seeing, you're probably buying him at his peak right now, so we probably got to wait for this to come down. To be honest, he's got a lot of cards out there. But still impressive that a 20-year-old is getting this type of run. Maybe not performing quite as consistent as you'd like, but somebody that you'd probably want to buy and hold on to. But again, his price is a little high for me right now. Kerem Demirbay, I just want to highlight him in terms of just some really nice scores here for a bit of a guy in his prime, and I'd say a fairly reasonable price to pay for this. So someone to consider, especially doing well over the last little bit here. And then the last one's kind of an interesting one, Daily Sink Raven. So this has kind of gone the other way. So we're talking about somebody who can't really seem to get the playing time he needs. He's 26. He's entering his prime. If we look over here, he's where did he go? he is there. So he's 7.7. He was 9.9. So he's kind of slipping. Transfer market is noticing that he's not getting the playing time. His value and potential isn't off the charts by any stretch. The reason I just talk about him is, just super dirt cheap for a big club like Bayer Leverkusen. There could be some injuries that come on and he starts to get some playing time, or he could get transferred at the next window for all we know. You could get the fact that you could get a super rare for him in and around this price range is, to me, at least just something kind of interesting. Or roll the dice on a rare for really next to nothing, something that you tend to pay for limiteds. So just a thought. Again, like I said, if he gets maybe some playing time on another club or some injuries occur and he gets up there, then he could be somebody that you can kind of flip at some point. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this. We have the spreadsheet below. There's the link Sorare below, which is my affiliate link. So appreciate you clicking on that. And we'll get to 2 more clubs to go. Talk soon.